Forgetting Sarah Marshall. What are you talking about? I Love You, Man.
They say that in everything.
Oh wait, it is from I Love You, Man. Yeah,
same actor.
Yeah,
I do cross between those a lot. Like
she got the double orders of slippery shrimp.
Yeah.
Hey now. Sometimes. No, you know what? When I said that, in my head it was the look at this guy.
Oh yeah.
Look at this guy. Now you and I.
Not you and me.
My
name's Samantha, and I have sex with everybody.
How do you not know that? You're the movie guy.
I know, but it's just like I remember movies I want to care about, like Jamie Foxx movies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't like Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
No, I love Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I know Brandon's not a huge fan. I think I overstate that. Brandon says that Brandon says we overdo it with that one.
I love you, man.
Dude's like Gandhi, but he likes puppets.
Yeah.
She licked the tip.
That was great. Like, we're trying to fuck, but we're having trouble fucking.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
I'm like scared.
Let's get it on. Are you guys ready? Let's do this. Let's start the show.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? Three Amigos and a Podcast, episode 50.
Woo!
Middle-aged. Our podcast is officially a middle-aged man.
Oh, yeah. We almost got the, our podcast should have the salt and pepper look, much like our guest.
Wow, speaking of middle age.
Just delicately sprinkle that one in there.
Senior S.A. Sneaky.
Yes, the Sneaky's in the house.
Enrique from the All Bad Podcast.
What's up, everyone? How we doing?
Doing good. You know, Brandon's out. He's in Cancun. Yo soy Cancun. Brandon's in Cancun. So, one brother's out.
Gotta
replace him with the other one. And it's like no one's the wiser.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Just a lot less F words.
Thank you.
How, like 2 minutes in? 2 minutes in, that one got brought up.
Yep.
There we go.
Not even a minute.
Not even a minute. There we go.
A minute. We're up.
Oh wow! Oh, you guys are pros. You got the little timer on.
I'm not looking at my show notes. Go ahead and put that over there.
Yeah, Enrique with the All Bad Podcast. This is how you do a real podcast. You see, you got the monitor on, you got the timer.
It's like home period.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You ready to go?
They pretty much forced me into a room and said, "Get in there and talk."
You act like this is the first time somebody's done that to you.
Just a regular old Thursday night.
Funny guy, dude.
Oh, I thank you, sir. I'm almost as good as Jamie Foxx.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a solid debate. I really do enjoy a good actual debate. Not like, oh, who's a better baseball player, Mike Trout or Bryce Harper? It's like, okay, come on,
look at the stats.
Don't argue that. But it's like, who's actually a better actor, Will Smith or Jamie Foxx? It's like, it's a good one.
It is a toss up.
Yeah.
I will say, the negatives to Will Smith are a lot higher than Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
I would say. He's a pretty weird dude.
Yeah,
he's like an open marriage, right?
Yeah,
supposedly,
like his kids are kind of weird. So I get it. I get the debate, but I'm sticking with Will Smith, man.
Yeah, I love Will Smith.
Gotta go Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. I've had this debate many hours.
Don't worry, we're about the debate. We're not gonna.
No, I'm open to everyone. Like, I'm fine with.
I just want you to change my mind. I just want to hear.
Right,
I want to hear I want the argument. I want the argument to change my mind. I'll be like, all right, I see where you're coming from.
Well, I already spent time trying to change your mind. I was like, I'm breaking it down. Like, Jamie Foxx, he's just been a successful singer. He actually has a Grammy for.
Yeah, but singing and acting is different.
Well, that's true. Well, strictly on the acting part,
just acting, right? That's what
one of the highest accolades for an actor is to get an Academy Award for their singular performance, and he got one for playing Ray Charles.
Yeah,
Will Smith has not.
Yeah, the highest there.
I understand that, and
It's kind of a cheat code, though,
This
because
is one of the issues
who
that
doesn't like retro?
and it's something that Ryan brought up, and I'm like, well, it's a good point. Is that Will Smith has a greater body of work, so he definitely has more crappy films.
Yeah.
And a lot of those crappy films really stand out in my head. Wild West.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Wild West.
Yeah.
Wild
Yeah. I will not fight with you on that one. I was younger when that movie came out, and it came out around the time that Men in Black came out.
Yeah.
And so I was pumped. I was like, I love Men in Black. Will Smith's my favorite actor. I'm going to go see it. Saw it, and I was like, damn, this was not good.
Yeah, visually it was awesome, and I just remember like the Burger King toys and definitely the hype from the whole Men in Black and whatnot. So it was just like I'm all in, and then
the
opposite.
Like, there was a decent song, I guess. That's it.
I also feel like a lot of the Will Smith movies like that have been sequels, not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Men in Black 2 and 3, not
Pursuit
great.
of Happiness, Concussion.
Yeah. Well, Enrique, I'm glad to have you on today so you can join the parent podcast. I enjoy when we get to listen to our entertainment sector of our podcast go out there.
Absolutely.
And it's always fun because we try to plug you guys as much like we can. So in the first couple minutes, we do our little normal life type thing. So it's good if you want to listen to more pop culture talks.
Right.
All Bad Podcast is where you're at.
Exactly. And in my defense, I have never said that you were the sports division.
The sports division.
The sports division of our podcast. My co-host, Philly Phil, he put that out there. And I'm like, no, they've actually been in the game longer than we have. So
it's good fun.
It's
owe
good
them
fun.
Respect. I actually look up to you guys.
No, I mean, we have fun with you guys. That's why we always have those challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
We got to come out with another challenge.
Yeah,
I was thinking a wiffle ball challenge.
That'd be awesome.
Right.
That'd
Us
be great.
three, you guys can have
The home run
Philly,
derby
and then
we
get
did.
like James.
The home run derby we did was really fun.
Home run
too.
derby would be really fun.
Okay, I need to substitute Philly Phil.
No, it's what you got.
I took him to the batting cages.
Yeah, bring Brandon. The other Brandon.
Oh, I don't know.
He's played soccer, right? Yeah, put a baseball bat in his hand. Let's do it.
I've seen my brother. He's stiff. He needs to loosen up a little bit more finesse.
He's a little rigid, but
we've seen him
with
throw
the
footballs.
With the rigidness comes power.
I'm like, you need to learn how to control that power.
We've always had this discussion about what Avenger we are, and we always end up with Brandon as the Hulk, and he never really understands it. But if you watch him with a baseball bat or with a football, you're like,
or when he lifts,
he's he's rigid. He has power, but at the same time, he doesn't know how to correctly use it.
It's a linear power.
Yeah,
it's point A, point B. There's no fluidity.
Yeah. There's no throwing footballs at the tailgate party because it's just all right, it's gonna end up over there. He's just trying to show his arm, but it's a very inaccurate arm.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go grab a beer now. Come on.
No, don't do that.
Well, we're still early in the podcast, so I know Philly Phil's listening. So why don't you go ahead and plug, Philly Phil Entertainment. We talked about it a couple times, but just give him his good shout out. Tell us a little bit.
I'm gonna put this on his invoice.
Tell us a little bit about what he's got going on.
Yeah. So my good buddy, longtime friend, co-host. Philly Phil, the Wolf of San Diego, the Fresh Prince of San. He's got all kinds of aliases, none of which I.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
the Wolf of San Diego.
He makes me laugh a lot, but he just started his own nightclub promotions company called Philly Phil Entertainment, and he's launching actually the same day you guys have your anniversary.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I hope everyone prefers to go to your anniversary as opposed to his first thing. But
we'll do our anniversary and then caravan over.
Oh, I don't know.
I shouldn't say that because then he's gonna be
like,
"Oh, they promised." Yeah. I didn't say it.
Believe me, he still holds me till a time where I didn't go out on a Thursday night that I said I might
It's a Thursday. I got to go to work on Friday.
But he's got his own company. I'm helping on the creative aspect. So we're kind of putting some things together, but he seems all in on it. He has connections with some of the the biggest clubs and bars in downtown, Park, Omnia.
Yeah, so just real quick, give us a little bit about like what he can do for you. What is social media? How do they contact him?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
You can find Philly on Philly Phil Entertainment on Instagram at Philly Phil ENT, Twitter at Philly Phil ENT as well, and then we're working on a Facebook, which would be Philly Phil Entertainment. And in terms of what services he can provide, again, he has connection. He's going to have planned events, which we're currently coordinating. We have we're going to have a pub crawl, which will take place on Saturdays, which will hit up a few bars and then conclude at Park Nightclub, which is one of the premier clubs.
Always like a good bar hop.
Yeah. I always love a good bar hop to a club. That's just how they work.
I guess
The crawl is for all.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
I'm just gonna fist pump till my arm falls off.
If there's a particular place you're interested in, he has connections with that upper. 9 times out of 10, he has connections with management.
He can get you in.
He can get you into wherever.
All right,
He's
for sure.
He's
the guy. Like when you're like, oh, I got a guy. He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the key master
All
to
right.
downtown. I hate to say it because, I just don't like giving him credit for anything.
Don't want to stroke that ego anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you're going by the Wolf of San Diego, the Fresh Prince, these are all names that he gave himself, by the way.
Self-proclaimed.
When you when you have the confidence to refer to yourself in the third, what is that called? Why can't I think of the word? Like when you refer to yourself.
Third person?
Third person.
Okay.
I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
It was like you said half of it. And
Dude,
I
I couldn't. I was like third element. But when you have the confidence to refer to yourself in the third person, it's like, dude, you got it going on. I'll believe in you. It's over the top.
I don't know about that, but
Well, I mean, good for Philly Phil.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
good for him. And
going out on your own isn't easy.
and more importantly, you can find the All Bad podcast on all streaming sites.
the bigger plug.
The bigger plug. This is the more important thing.
This
and
is
then
the real
also
plug.
on Instagram and YouTube at All Bad Podcast.
You guys' videos are great.
Yeah, they are.
We work on it.
That Marvel one you did was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a quick turnaround and always feel he's like, why didn't you add more? I was like, I'm trying to get this turned around. He does.
Dude, I mean, because you do the videography, you edit it, and you release it. Like, your videos are perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
I'm
spot
looking
on.
forward to helping you guys with yours.
Yeah, 1 year in 2 weeks. We'll have it at the Ballast Point on Linda Vista Road, the old tasting room one. We'll be in the back area, so come out and
They definitely.
if
That place has been revamped.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
going
nice.
back in the day, but it looks really nice now.
It's home, man.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's one of my favorite spots.
Yeah.
In that night, we're just gonna have like an open mic kind of thing. You want to come up and talk to us? We'll have an extra mic there, so
Right.
we'll just plug you
Drop
in.
an F-bomb or something.
Yeah, go
for
for
Brandon.
it. Do whatever you need.
You're gonna have drink specials.
Yeah, we're gonna have the drink special. Buy one, pay full price.
I like that.
That's the drink special. So everyone, come out.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I always like to start off the show asking how my boys are doing. Obviously, Brandon's out. Ryan, how you doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, good week.
Yeah, so far so good. Just enjoying the last few weeks before I go back to school, and
There you go.
it's
School.
yeah.
What are you going to school for?
Just to go back to school. Nah, I'm starting back at Grossmont, doing some online classes, just trying to get back into a 4-year and get my degree.
Nice.
Yeah, so work in progress, but I'm still here.
There you go.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Enrique, how you doing?
Doing well. It's great to be here.
How you doing?
I've been quite well. It's been very busy this week. I'm trying to even think what I've done.
Dude, Mr. Hustler over here.
Yeah,
I
right?
swear.
I know. I'm just, I got meetings here and there, trying to start companies.
Well, not only that, but like you have like 6 fucking jobs.
Well, I got rid of one. I no longer work in accounting.
Oh,
So-
what?
If you need tax help, you're on your own.
Philly's screwed, dude.
No,
That's what he'd need. He'd need an accountant for.
Well, no, he's still getting that. Like I'm setting up, I'm building him like an Excel spreadsheet that like automatically. I haven't lost that itch though. Like I still got the
Dude, I'm the one that wears glasses, but you sound like the biggest nerd in the room right now.
Hey. You know, I just remember taking like Excel classes and like econ, and I'm like, this is dumb. And then once I got into accounting, I'm like, Excel.
Dude,
is
Excel's
my best-
money.
Excel's my best friend. I love just setting up like little spreadsheets and.
Dude, once you get like the little macros going, like it's like magic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ooh, if I put a number in here and another one there, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
It's this.
What is?
Oh, it's that computer over there
Gotcha.
spinning.
Wow. What is that? The motherboard or something, or is that the?
Yeah, that's the
that's the
Microsoft Surface 3. Those things are pieces of shit. Don't get one.
Yeah.
They run so hot. It's not even on right now. You hear it? It's on
Yeah,
I
sleep.
thought it was like
raining.
an airplane like warming up.
That's what I'm saying. Those things are terrible.
Somebody's got a vape pen.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, my week was good. Low key. Didn't really do too much. I had some plumbing issues with the house, so I had to have a plumber out today to clear that up.
Oh, that's
so
always fun.
yeah, my dishwasher was broken, so
You should have called me out.
Sarah had the week off.
You didn't know
I'm just
I had
kidding.
a plumbing business too.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Go fuck yourself.
No, that's part of like, the
No,
home
we-
revamp is just like.
I have a
there's-
snake. I threw a snake down there. Was grinding it out. Everything. It seemed like it was clear, but I think I just pushed the blockage down another 5
and
feet.
you didn't like it wasn't.
Yeah, the
long
guy
enough.
came out with like a drill attachment thing and just like chopped it all up, flushed it, and it was good to go. So, yeah, I just didn't have the right tools, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
It's all about the tools.
All about the tools.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
fuck it. I was going to ask you guys about Memorial Day, but I don't really care anymore. I just want to get into sports. You know, Philly, you can change the dial now. You can turn
Whoa,
it back to whatever.
whoa. Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
You playing arcade games over there?
Oh no.
Don't get me started on Ready Player One again, all right? We went over this last week.
Hey. I thought, okay, I read both the book and I watched the movie.
Yeah.
The movie, I take it for what it is.
Okay.
There's just too many.
It's completely
IP,
different.
Like, too many intellectual properties that you just could. It would cost the movie. It would cost $1 billion to make the movie. You just couldn't
Yeah.
have all the rights to do it. So I understand that, but yes, the book is significantly better, and I haven't read a lot of books, so I love being that person.
Read
The
a lot
book
of-
is better than the movie.
I haven't read a lot of books, but
I read that one.
I read
I read a Dr. Seuss book. And then I read that one.
one fish, two fish, goldfish, bluefish.
The one thing I didn't get to ask Enrique about, since he's the only other Game of Thrones listener,
Oh yeah.
was his thoughts on the final episode.
It's a perfect question because he is like the movie man,
Yep.
Game of Thrones fan.
Well, I can't talk Game of Thrones. Philly's like, never heard of it. But he's fine with talking about like Love and Hip Hop or something. But I thought, obviously the season has not been what we wanted. A lot of it's just like we deserve to get 8 or 10 episodes.
Oh, definitely.
If anything, it felt way too rushed.
Absolutely.
I did, and I've watched the finale a few times now. There's aspect like the first time I watched it, I was kind of disappointed. It just felt like really rushed. It felt like the last 5 minutes of a movie.
Absolutely.
Like,
But it's strung on for an hour.
yes.
Absolutely.
And but at the same time, like there was closure with a lot of the characters that I did like.
And it's a final episode.
Right.
And I feel like that's a lot of the stuff that people have to understand too, is that in a final episode you have to have closure.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be like blood and war and like
Or-
you have to close it up.
Yeah.
Right. There were aspects that I was just kind of, I rolled my eyes at, like, the whole fact that, like, here Tyrion, who's a prisoner, who's, deciding how they should go about running,
And governing.
assigning. Yeah, I'm just like, does that sound like a great idea and whatnot? But we had like a Deadpool thing that we kind of put together, and I picked Bran as, well, I didn't actually get it because the Iron Throne was technically melted, which I really was pissed off about that because I lost out on money on that.
Wait, what? I thought the Iron Throne was what they were all fighting for.
They
It
were,
was destroyed.
But it was just. But who destroyed it?
there's spoilers, right?
Like,
We
what-
can just-
Like when?
It's Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah.
When did they this season they destroyed
Yeah,
it?
this last episode.
So yeah, it pretty much happened
In the last episode, they destroyed it.
So in the last
and
episode,
somebody was
Jon
claimed
kills Daenerys.
Yeah.
The dragon was sitting outside. He flies up, and instead of like torching Jon, he torches the throne.
The throne.
it. And what? The dragon just disappears.
The dragon picks up his dead mama and flies off.
Dude, that's not some like Avatar shit where you kill it and then you get it.
What?
Like in Avatar, you kill the beast. Like you kill the owner, you get the beast.
To me, it more felt like
Right?
the
Like you kill the dragon, you
the
should
dragon
get the dragon.
understood what actually killed its mom, and I don't think he was blaming Jon for it. I think he knew
Gotcha.
that it was the chase, and if his mom wasn't going to sit there, then nobody was going to sit there.
Well, I was ready for, because Jon has Targaryen
I
blood.
was thinking the
that
same
he was
thing.
gonna get, the dragon was gonna burn, and I thought that would have been awesome. Where,
Dragon tries to light Jon on fire and he doesn't burn.
Yeah.
Because there was a scene earlier on where she gets burned and she doesn't burn. She's a Targaryen. She's the mother of a dragon, so she doesn't burn.
Oh, that's cool.
And so Jon's technically a Targaryen. So I was kind of hoping for that this whole season, where it was like somebody was going to try to light him on fire and he wouldn't burn.
there were so many different things where it's just like there was reveals where it's just like, oh, Jon's a Targaryen and he's the rightful heir of the throne and whatever, and it's just like
It didn't
it didn't really like play
pan out
into
to anything.
anything except for making it
So-
feel uncomfortable when
when they had sex.
they had sex.
Yeah.
So
My gripe, and I did enjoy the, I know that it wasn't the best season. I enjoyed the show as a whole. I was pleased with the outcome. I wasn't thrilled about the delivery.
right.
So like you said, I felt like it was very rushed. I'm pretty sure everybody can agree with that. For a show that was so particular and precise on
Right.
every individual character's development, it seemed like there were things that were just kind of tossed up and then forgot about as
Right.
the show was progressing. So
Right.
like you said, like Jon being a Targaryen really didn't mean shit.
Right.
I also felt like the scene with him, killing Daenerys, like if they would have, implemented this relationship in season 5, and we could have seen it grow, then it had more feel. But like when he stabs her, it's like, I mean, you guys said you loved each other, but you've only known each other for 12 episodes.
Right.
And that going back to, season, was this season 8 or season 7?
Season.
Well, I got a question. Right, you said
Sure.
they only known each other for 12 episodes, but like, is each episode? Do they have Are they just accumulation of the week beforehand, or is it like an unknown amount of time?
Unknown amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So
Yeah.
it could have been 12 episodes, but it could have been
It could have been like
years.
a couple years, absolutely.
Okay.
But you never like got that because like time moved so much faster in the last 2 seasons.
Right.
People
Yeah,
ran
okay.
faster and flew farther, and
Yeah, there was a lot of like, because they're all around, and here
Yeah.
there was like traveling, and they would be like overnight.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like, I'm like, well, you're over here, but then you ended
It would
up
have taken you like
it would have
3 months
taken
to get
you-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
like
no
for instance,
point.
like Tyrion was in jail for like 3 days or 3 episodes at one point. Ned Stark was in jail for like 3 episodes at one point, and Tyrion was arrested, and he was in there for 3 months, but it was for like 5 minutes
Yeah.
of showtime.
Yeah.
So you can never really grasp onto the aspects of it.
Of time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, yeah, even
So-
in this episode, like when Tyrion gets in prison, and then like he gets out, and he, full on beard.
it's supposed to be like several months later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my other question is, because Tyrion now, Bran got the throne, and you said, Tyrion, you're my like right-hand man.
My hand. Yep.
And didn't Tyrion belong to the Dragon Lady?
He did. He
beforehand?
was her hand.
So like, isn't that like,
That was the whole
isn't that
thing.
like sketchy? Like, couldn't he like turn on him,
So
or
it-
like, is it just like you're the throne?
Tyrion did technically turn on Daenerys, but everyone did. And with
'Cause
Tyrion,
I thought he was supposed to die.
yeah. So like with
Yeah.
Tyrion, he basically, he was with everyone. He was the hand of basically every household that ran, the kingdoms. And Bran had basically stated like he's made mistakes, and now he's gonna work on correcting all of those mistakes. Because now he's seen it from every single platform, every single ruler.
Yeah.
So who better to be the hand than somebody that has been here for everything,
Right.
and
that
like
makes sense.
put it back where it needs to be. I liked Bran winning. I thought it did make sense. like I said, I wish there would have been better character development with him if that was who was going to be on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I mean, it's just tough though. It's like because this takes time and like it's older times, right? Like
Yeah.
it's,
Definitely older.
you know what I mean? Like to have a guy that's crippled and not have like wheelchair accessible places, like that's tough, you know?
I love how they
funny,
call them Brand the Broken.
Yeah.
I was like, that's such a
messed
crappy.
up.
One of my favorite like clips from it though is like they're sitting there and they're like, oh well, Brand can't like father children, and like there was all these memes going around where he's like sitting there and he's like, bitch, don't tell him my business. How do you know my dick doesn't work?
I saw the same thing with like Davos when he was talking to Grey Worm, who
Is supposed to have no penis.
has no penis, and he's like telling him, "Hey, go back," and like the whole Unsullied are the same thing. They have no penises. Their penises are taken from them because they're strictly business, not down there. But
They're war people.
But he's telling them to go back,
Yeah, it sucks.
go to their own place and start families. And then I was seeing this meme, and the guy's like, Grey Worm's like, I have no dick.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
That's tough. That's
But overall, Game of Thrones as a whole, I definitely think it's one of my favorite shows of all time. And I feel like it's definitely, I feel like this is going to be like the last big show. With all these different streaming
for a long time.
For a long time. There's nothing out there right now that
9 years in the making.
Well, like that's the thing too. 9 years in the making, but like off season of football, you think about Sunday night. Sunday night's owned by the NFL, and then it was owned by Game of Thrones.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like now Sunday nights. What are you gonna do? Like people are looking for a TV show.
Well,
they're looking for something.
It shows in general. Like one of my favorite shows is Stranger Things. Well, they release it the whole season on one day.
Yeah.
People binge through it. It's the talk of the town for like a couple weeks, and then it's gone. Shows like Game of Thrones where you get the one episode once a week. It's water cooler talk throughout the week, and it keeps you for however 8 weeks, 9 weeks, whatever it may be. But now that we're moving more towards this whole streaming thing, it's definitely
it's highly unlikely that we're going to see something like it in the near future.
Unless like streaming site and a few streaming like Netflix.
Well, Netflix is trying to do that.
Yeah, Netflix is trying to do the whole we'll drop an episode once a week, which might be the smart thing because we just consume that content like none
no other.
So it's just like, and then you're pretty much the buzz is over after a couple of days. So, I'm sad to see it over.
Yeah, me too.
Overall, good show though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Top three,
definitely.
It might be like 3 for me.
Yeah, it's not my number one, but it's up there.
What's number one?
I love Sons of Anarchy.
Sons.
Oh, Sons is good. Seinfeld's my favorite show of all.
I do love. My favorite show is Peaky Blinders.
That's a good one. I haven't really gotten into that one, but I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Best show I've ever seen, man. I love that show.
Yeah, I'm definitely like I feel a little lost without.
If you haven't seen it, do it.
I know. I keep googling like Game of Thrones, like trying to like like I need that like itch. Like well, what's gonna happen next week? Oh yeah, it's done.
Done.
I mean, we're gonna get the spin-offs, but
spin-offs are never as good.
They're not.
It's the same like world, so it's cool, but like, I mean, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, and it's taking like 1,000 years before. Game of Thrones, so it's just like this current state. So who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
All right, well, let's do it. We're here for a reason. Here to talk about sports. Here to talk about the Padres. For the first time this season, though, the Padres dipped below 500. They were there for one game, came right back up. Dude, how crazy is that to think about? One time this season, our Padres have been below 500. Just once.
When's the last time
awesome,
that
man.
happened?
Yeah, shit. We're almost in June.
That's what I mean. Like, that's ridiculous. And not only that, but it's like you dip below 500 and you're like, oh, man, it's over.
Yeah.
Right back above.
Yeah.
Like, come back.
Oh, they had us for a while. I was a little concerned. I mean,
it
just wasn't looking good. Starting pitching was like, our young pitchers were just not looking.
Well, we went on a long road trip and then finally came back, but then we came back against the Dodgers, and that was tough.
Yeah.
Like, the Dodgers are a tough team to play. They just swing the bat. But then, go up against the Diamondbacks, get that sweep at home, which is nice to see. Back above 500.
Especially, they were ahead of us, right? They were in second place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it was cool to see, though, with the Pirates that there was 2 local kids that were pitched against us.
My boy.
Trevor Williams, and then my boy, Joey Musgrove.
Yep, Tecolote.
Yep. So that was just cool to see,
definitely.
like, 2 kids that we grew up with to be out there on the mound. It's like, man, good for you guys. Yeah. Definitely jealous, but, good for you guys. I don't know what happened to Trevor Williams, though. He left early, like in the third or something.
It looked like an oblique strain or something like that. I didn't follow up to see what the injury actually was, but it looked pretty painful.
Yeah.
And that pitching staff is already thin right now as it is, and they need all the help they can get. They're a good ball club, but the pitching staff is falling apart right now.
Yeah. And, Joey had a good outing. He won that, or no, they didn't win it, but he went pretty deep with the Astros a couple years ago, so that was pretty cool.
Though they did win that one, didn't they?
Oh, they did?
Yeah, that was the only time they've been in it.
2 years ago?
Yeah, it was against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They beat them.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was there last year. But yeah, no, so yeah, he did really well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Padres turning it back on a little bit, getting that sweep against the Diamondbacks. We had the day off today, right?
Yeah, day off today. Now they're going to be in Toronto and then New York.
There we go. So that should be tough.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this team looks like with the designated hitter.
Yes, definitely.
Just about an hour ago, they announced that they called up Josh Naylor, first baseman.
Okay.
He was the 12th overall pick in 2015, I believe, by the Marlins.
I like that. I like that call up because you get Hosmer's bat still. So I'm not saying that he's going to be the DH every time, but when he needs a day off,
Hosmer's definitely going to be playing first base. I would see Naylor being the DH. That dude could stroke.
Yeah.
I know we don't dive into a lot of the true depth that is our minor league because we could be talking for an entire podcast, but he's one of the most exciting power hitting prospects that we have. And not that we need another power hitting dude up in our lineup because it seems like we're kind of a one trick pony as of late. Yeah. But when you're playing in the American League, especially going up against a team like the Yankees and the Blue Jays, teams that can knock the ball out of the ballpark, you got to be able to keep pace. So I'm excited for that call-up. I feel like it's time for Alex Dickerson to make his way back into AAA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It sucks because I feel for the guy. He's been through a lot. It just looks so unnatural.
It's like, oh, cool, local guy, put him back.
You made it through a bunch of obstacles.
It just looks so unnatural when he's batting.
He's like,
it's tough to watch.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the Naylor call up and going and see what the Padres look like with the DH because Franmil Reyes has been on a tear as of late. I think he's got 16 home runs. Yeah. Dude has an on-base percentage of 860 plus, something like that.
Yet he's still batting second.
Which I think is a little ridiculous. Do you think that there's any cause or any argument that this guy isn't going to be the DH for a handful of the games?
Franmil?
Yeah.
It's a tough call.
Because at some point you got to restructure the lineup, right?
Oh, definitely.
So do you think that, one, do you think he should be batting second?
No.
And two, where do you think he should be batting?
He needs to be batting fourth or fifth. I personally, if I'm the head coach, I would just make the switch of Machado second, Franmil third.
Yeah.
Now everybody's been giving a lot of crap about Machado and his batting average, but his on-pace percentage is very high. He draws a lot of walks. He finds ways to, get himself on base. Yeah. And Franmil's popping a lot of solo shots. And, all it takes is one guy in front of him that doubles the amount of runs.
That's why I like the argument of him batting second, because you want your leadoff guy to get on base. Your leadoff guy should be able to get on base.
Oh, our leadoff, like Greg Garcia?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's why it makes sense why he's batting second.
The issue is that our leadoff hitter has been continuously on the 10-day DL.
Yeah.
And they've had a really hard time of...
No, it's IL now.
Oh, I'm sorry, IL, yeah. They're having a really hard time figuring out who's going to be there right now temporarily.
Yeah.
So that it just doesn't seem like with the adjustment that they're making with the one spot with Fernando Tatis batting first, absolutely leave Franmil there all the time. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely fine. But with the way that our team's working right now, and basically whoever is batting leadoff, batting under 200. we should probably look at moving him back a little bit.
Yeah.
And like I said, even just that one little flip there, they have not moved Machado out of that 3-hole. They've moved everybody else around the lineup. He's the only one that they haven't toyed with. And Brandon said it before, he statistically hits better out of the 2-hole.
Yeah. And I agree. I mean, if I'm putting together the Padres lineup, obviously I'm going Tatis first. If he's not there, then in reality you gotta put whoever's playing at second base.
Right.
Albeit, Ian Kinsler, Greg Garcia, you got to throw one of them in there, in my opinion, to just get it.
I wish it could be freaking Margot.
I mean, maybe that's another option with the DH in place. If
I'm the head coach of the Padres, it's Renfroe in left. You have Margot in center, and you have franmil in right. And you just got to kind of force the issue with Margot at the leadoff spot. He's either going to work it or he's going to fail.
Yeah, but it's like you have Will Myers out there who is, I will say, it's hard to argue that it's like in certain situations, he's been proven for us for a while. He's played with us. He's done decent. I mean, last year, last year, this year, okay, he was hurt, but then they moved him around. They haven't given him like consistent bats, and they haven't given him a consistent spot. And then this year, they've moved him up and down. But I agree. I mean, like, the dude's got to prove himself. He's got to hit.
He's a
waste of money at this point.
With the way the Padres are playing, or the way that they've played this season so far, bringing Tatis up for game 1, calling up Urias real quick behind him, bringing up Quantrill and Dickerson, they're basically saying, like, it's fair game. Like, win your spot, get your spot. franmil's out there every day because he earned it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hosmer and Machado, those guys, you're paying them big bucks. They're, proven all-stars. They're going to be out there. But the rest of them, you got to prove it. Will Myers isn't proving it. And my thing with Manuel Margot, he's not going to be our number 7 hitter. He's not going to be our number 8 hitter. He's either going to be our leadoff hitter or he's not going to be on our team after his contract is up. And that's the unfortunate reality of it.
Yeah.
Tatis is too good of a player to have that leadoff for the rest of his career. If Margot is your long-term answer at center field, he has to be your leadoff hitter because he's fast. He should be able to get on base, and that way we score more runs when franmil's popping one over the wall.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I'm not upset that franmil's batting second.
Yeah,
because it's almost like Machado's a reset.
Yeah,
he's either you got a second chance at pulling in that lead runner, or he's that reset to get you on base.
Absolutely.
And then you got Hosmer to bat around, start the rally going, and then you go down the line.
Absolutely.
But
I don't hate it. I just feel like we're running out of options, so it's like, what can you do? And if
it
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Isn't Tatis supposed? They're saying like next week, right?
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be
last week.
It was originally supposed to be this Friday, but he hasn't played in any
simulated
games yet.
It definitely would have been awesome to see him like in that Blue Jays series.
I think that
with everyone. Vlad Jr. versus Tatis.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think that I'm appreciating the way that they're not rushing him back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be kind of tough to watch him come back because it's not easy to come back after you've been out for so long. But remembering that he's a 20-year-old dude and he needs to be doing this for the next 18 years.
Right.
We don't want him to suffer an injury going forward this year when we're playing well.
Especially a hamstring, those things can be tender.
Yeah, definitely. And the way he moves too, man. I mean, he's quick, he's agile. You don't want him to slow down. You want him to make sure that he's 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an exciting road trip. I'm excited for them to, be at Yankee Stadium and that park. They issue a lot of long balls there, so it'll be good. The starting pitching definitely needs to show up. They turned it around in that last series against the Diamondbacks, shut down some pretty big bats, but they got some bigger bats coming. And
so, who do you guys think should get the DH spot? You know what I mean? Like, I know we got the call up. But even still, it's like we've said it multiple times how franmil has the big bat. Margot could be our leadoff, especially if I think Tatis can't come back. It's like, would that be our solution going forward?
I think if I'm being honest, like if you're talking about the best outfield that you can build with
the best,
DH,
I'm talking about the best lineup you could put up against.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're talking about what is going to do best for you offensively and defensively, then franmil is going to be your DH.
Yeah,
because that way you can put.
Renfroe.
You can put him back in his natural home, which is right field. You can put Will Myers in center where he can be useless there.
You'd put Myers in center, not Margot in center?
Left.
Myers
in left and Margot in
okay.
center. Yeah. You can let him be almost useless in left field for all I fucking cared. I'm so sick of that dude.
It's sad. It looks like he doesn't even.
If he was making $4 million a year, that's what I said last time. If he was making $4 million a year, I wouldn't bat an eye.
Right.
No. But the fact he's making close to 17?
I ain't want to talk about
is-
it.
Technically, he's making more than Machado this year.
It's sad just seeing him out there and he just whiffs.
It doesn't look like he's putting any effort into it.
It doesn't.
That's what
It just
pisses me off.
And that's the other reason.
Swings, it's just whatever.
And that's the other reason I get pissed off at Greg Garcia leading off. That dude just about faces as soon as the ball leaves the hand.
Both of those guys are literally spot on.
Dude, he knows that it's a strike and he just leaves the bat on his shoulder, just turns around.
You watch any batter in that lineup, whether it's an adjustment made from the first pitch to the last pitch, or it's their first at bat to their last at bat. They make adjustments. Francisco Mejia is one of the best players at it. He'll strike out twice on, sliders low in the dirt, and then he'll knock that son of a bitch into the freaking, corner outfield. The same pitch, but he makes the adjustment every single time. Will Myers and Greg Garcia do not make adjustments.
They look for their pitch, and that's it.
Dude, it drives me nuts. And, Will Myers is the king of the freaking launch angle. That dude literally is swinging for the fence. And maybe he's not, but it looks like he's swinging for the fence every time.
Mm-hmm.
Kills me.
Yeah.
So I said he could be useless in left field, and then you let Margot. But with Naylor getting the call up, you definitely. I think we got 6 or 7 games out there for the road trip. You got to give him some at bats. I'm not saying put him at first base because I don't think his glove is that good.
Right.
Hosmer's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
He has been.
Definitely. Well, and the other aspect of that, too, is that, and I know this is thinking long-term, big picture, when we start piecing together our World Series contending team, you have to start showing some of these prospects value.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give him at-bats, you have to give him innings. Cal Quantrill is not a guy that I see pitching in that starting rotation long-term. When you look at guys like Chris Paddock, Mackenzie Gore, Ryan Weathers, I know the jury's out on him, but he's a top 100 prospect.
Yeah. Well, even when you watch his outings, you know what I mean? He even watch his outings, it's like he's good for a good 3 to 5, but even still, it's like that's it. And in all reality, that's a good quality 2 to 4 innings.
Yeah, definitely.
From a reliever.
Maybe he's a bullpen guy. I don't know. They have so much depth, guys that can't make it in the starting rotation. I heard it on 97.3, The Fan, today, and it was the perfect example is that good teams don't have 5 good starting pitchers. They have 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Because injuries happen, rests are needed. You have to be able to plug other pitchers in. Strom isn't a guy that I see long-term as a starting pitcher for us, but the fact that he can come in and plug innings the way he is right now, that makes our team better long-term. So, you have to start giving these pitchers like Quantrill and then, Michael Baez and Logan Allen. Some of these guys, you have to call them up because you have to see what their trade value is going to be.
Yeah, and you got to give them innings. You just got to get them real work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't pitch simulations for that long.
Well,
you can't pitch down in the minors for that long. You got to see real value.
Absolutely. And Naylor's, like I said, his glove's not great. Maybe he can develop it over time, but, we got Eric Hosmer for the foreseeable future. Through this guy's prime, he's a trade piece.
Yeah.
It sucks. He's a top 100 prospect. He's a top prospect, or he's not top 100 anymore, but he's a top prospect in the Padres organization, and everybody wants to dive into our prospects.
Dude, the Padres right now are it's like you're playing fantasy football. You have a shitty team that you're not going to make the playoffs, but you're like, dude, I can't get rid of this person because then they could do really good, but I can't start this person because they're not good as this person. And you're like, how am I going to do?
Right.
What am I going to do this way?
Yeah, it's Preller, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I always get the Chargers and the Padres general managers confused
because they're both AJ.
Yeah. Preller's playing it close to the vest for sure because he doesn't want to give up on a player too soon.
Yeah.
And we don't need a short-term contract right now. If we're talking about a Noah Syndergaard, somebody that has, several years left in their current deal, totally different story.
Yeah.
But like as far as trading for like a Bauer or a Kluber or somebody like that, like those are people that are going to come in. You're going to have to pay them right away.
Yeah.
And so with those kind of things that happen over the course of a season, and when teams start freaking out and trying to, sell the farm to get prospects, you have to say, hey, Josh Naylor played 15 games for us, knocked 4 home runs out of the park, showed pure power. He's going to be a great DH in the American League. Those are the kind of things that people are like, all right, that's our number one trade piece. Now we can pick and choose what other prospects we want.
Yeah.
So I like the value in, calling these players up and giving them their looks. And that's not the only reason, obviously. It's a long season. These guys got to, get the rest when they need it. But at a position like first base, you got to give him a look.
You got to give him a little
DH.
bit. Well, Enrique, sorry we ran off on a tangent or not a tangent, but a little rant right there. You didn't really get a lot in. I want to ask you who your favorite Padres are right now. Well, sorry, you came on, you're our guest, but you just been sitting there with your, chilling back. I just, I know you're a long-time listener.
Weird.
I want
Brandon
you to get in.
To interrupt me. And I was like, am I going to stop talking?
I know. I was,
I was enjoying. I actually was getting in the zone, just like listening to you guys talk, like I normally do. But then I forgot. Oh, I'm on the actual.
You're here right now.
It's like I'm not a spectator.
Yeah. But we were kind of talking about this before. Pitching wise, I got to go with the sheriff, Chris Paddock.
Oof.
Oh yeah, relentless.
There's fire in that guy's eye. I think it's intimidating.
He's a competitor.
Yeah.
He's like all in too. It's not just like he's playing well, but he's like striking fear in like the team. Like he just has that face. Even when he's out in the
he gives him a hit, and he's like.
Even when he's out in the dugout, he's just like he's got that face. Like the camera zooming in on him. He's just like.
So that's the one thing I do love because no one ever thinks about it. But when a starting pitcher gets replaced, when they get a different arm in there or a reliever in there. The people that are on base still go against their ERA. Right. And Eric Lauer, every single time he gets a reliever comes in, he gets has to hand the ball over. He's up on that against the dugout. He's watching that. He's cheering his pitcher on because he knows he's like, dude, these are my runs out there, and I love that from him as well. But Chris Paddock's exactly the same.
Yep.
It's like they're just out there to freaking play.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I love seeing that.
Yeah.
So, favorite offensive, defensive guy?
Offensive, defensive? Well, I got to go offensively. The Franimal, La Mole. Franmil Reyes. Definitely a surprise. I was not expecting that. I mean, Tatis was definitely the guy I was watching on both sides of the ball. And hopefully, he gets back to his self once he gets back in. Defensively, I gotta go with Machado. Definitely clearing up, and it's been sad seeing like Greg Garcia out in third. A lot of balls up against the line.
I know.
Even with
Ty, I saw one the other day, and he threw a ball behind the runner.
If Machado was out there on that corner, he could have got that. So
even Ty France out there, dude. Like I'm like, man, your arm is just weak.
I know. I do like Ty France though.
I do like him, but
like
it's just like the difference between Machado's arm and theirs. It's like, it's ridiculous.
That like reminds me back like the NFL draft we talked about. How I was like saying you can't teach arm strength. It's like when you go out and watch like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady slinging around, it's like. And then you go out and see somebody like, damn, what?
Yeah.
Why is it getting there so much slower? Why is the ball hanging up there so much longer?
Yeah. I was in the same mindset as you as my favorite defensive player is Machado because of the plays that he makes. But seeing, Tatis out, these other people at third, I have to say Hosmer, man.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is so good at first base.
Dude, it's incredible.
The way that he gets his body and his line of sight down for these digs, it's like...
It just takes me back to Brandon's favorite, movie. We quote it all the time. Like, how hard is it to play first base? Extremely hard. Yeah. It's extremely hard. And, like, he makes it look easy, but it is not.
It's not,
like, picking all these balls, like, manipulating his body and, making sure that we're talking about half a step.
Yeah.
And that dude, like, he stretches, he puts himself in front of the ball, and he makes the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot where you just see him, like, far reaching out, or there's like a quick short, like a little hop at the end where he's got to
backs up on it.
You know, if you had anyone else at first, that they would have
eats
lost
him up,
it.
Yeah, he just knows what he's doing out there. It's all the confidence in the world. There's nothing that comes like a surprise to him.
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right, Ryan, give us some NFL news.
Ooh, NFL. So Ndamukong Suh signed with the Bucks today. 1 year, $9.5 million. Pretty nice contract. I mean, not a huge fan of the Bucks.
Yeah, what's going on? Like, what do they got? They're still rolling with Jameis
Winston. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to jump on board with that team in general, with Jameis being their guy. I mean, we don't get into the political aspect of things in sports, but we'll just say having your figurehead, your team being the way that he is,
right?
You know, not knowing what his future is going to be. It's kind of tough to piece everything around it.
I mean, he's had flashes, and I gotta say, like, very subtle.
Kind of reminds me of Will Myers,
like the green flash that you see out in Mission Beach or whatever, where it's just like really quick. But nonetheless, you know, he's definitely was drafted very high, and we expected a lot more than what we've seen.
Like anytime you're like a number 1 overall pick, it's like you're supposed to be a future Hall of Famer,
right?
And like it's obviously not a true reality when you look at the percentage, you know, how many of those players are. But the expectation is that this team has the first pick. You are supposed to be the best player out of this pool this year. So in a quarterback position where there's 32 teams, only 32 starting spots, and they all go by tiers, you expect that number 1 overall pick to be somewhere near the top, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he's shown the arm strength, he's shown the ability. It's more the lack of effort.
It's sad because Mike Evans is one of my favorite receivers, and just sad.
Yeah, Mike Evans is a freaking animal, and like you said, I mean, it sucks to see
It's sad when I have to go like, yes, put Fitzpatrick out.
Yeah, right. Fist magic, man. I mean, it sucks. I mean, but Ndamukong Suh, you know, he's an animal. He can come in. Dean said it earlier. Like the dude's played the system very well. He gets paid a shit ton, and he's all these 1-year contracts, and he comes in. He could change defense around for sure.
You can step on a guy too if you need to.
Yeah, for sure. We got the Browns meeting with McCoy, the defensive tackle the Bucks released. You know, Browns trying to solidify themselves as the best team in the, you know, AFC North. Thank you. I was like Boston, or Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know, they've pieced together a pretty good ball club this offseason, but you know, you gotta produce on
early
the field.
predictions are the Browns winning the AFC North.
I still say no.
No.
I say no because one, you can't buy wins. There's a team every single year that proves that. Yes, they've had several successful draft picks, but this is their first year as a unit. They have a brand new head coach, and you have a fresh organization with the Steelers who aren't losing a ton as far as, you know, wins and losses. I don't think that did improve on the defensive side of the ball with the draft, with free agency. It's hard to bet against the Steelers, especially now that all their head cases are gone.
Yeah.
So I would say I think the Browns might finish just under the Steelers. Still think they're a playoff team.
You hear it here. I'm gonna make a quick little wager, and you can, you know, if the Browns don't win the AFC North, I will buy you guys pizza and beer of your choosing.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think they are. I think they can take the AFC North.
They definitely could. They're talented enough.
I think they're talented enough. I understand the argument with the Steelers. They get rid of the divas that they had in the locker room, but still the talent level isn't going to be there as much. And I don't think Big Ben has the talent that he's had in the past. I think his skill set's kind of dwindling a little bit. But at the same time, they're still the Steelers, and I think what's his name? Their head coach.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. I think, you know, he He has a skill set to kind of wrangle these guys and put his offense on the field that he needs. Plus, AFC North has always been known for defense, and they've been shut down. I think the Ravens are going to fall off big time this year.
The Ravens lost a lot. And the Bengals are irrelevant.
And the Bengals are irrelevant. Yeah. So
it's between the Steelers and the Browns, and the Browns definitely have the better team. I'm not doubting that at all.
The only thing that I see as the Steelers having a chance is we went over this when the schedule came out. The Steelers have an easier strength of schedule. I was just looking at that.
The Browns have a very tough schedule.
Yeah, so they're also just like a young team.
Yeah.
Right?
The
Steelers,
and they got a lot of prime time games. They have a lot of prime time games.
But that's the other thing too. They're not really a young team. They're a young team in the sense of their quarterback.
They're a very young team.
Their quarterback and their running back. But you look at all their
defensive players are like sub 25.
But still, that's when you want corners and safeties. At the
same time, it's just like a matter of, like the young players necessarily, they're just not disciplined enough as opposed to the Steelers who have been there. You got Big Ben, who's the whipping boy, or the whipping guy that's
in an atmosphere of winning. That's the other thing, is that you watch,
we've talked about that before. The culture of losing, culture of winning.
And that some of that culture is still there. The coach that they hired is still, part of that coaching staff. Odell Beckham, great player, head case. So
definitely, he wears dresses.
If this
coach, the kilt.
Whatever.
But if this coach can, turn that around and have him focus on football, there's no reason this team shouldn't win that division. No. But yeah, I look at their schedule. Redskins, Colts, Bucks, Lions. I'd say 2 out of those 4 are pretty tough. And then you get into the Jets, new running back, new head coach. Who knows what you're going to see with them.
Yeah.
Rams, Ravens, 49ers, Seahawks, Patriots. So, there's a lot of tough games in there.
Yeah.
But that's where you figure out if your team is good. Because if you can go out, say you have 4 really tough games and you can win half of them, you start to turn some heads.
Yeah.
And it changes that culture of winning.
Yeah, I agree. What else you got?
That's pretty much it for football. Still pretty slow start to off season. I know Reuben Foster went to the Washington Redskins and he got hurt in OTAs.
Yeah, that's always sucks when you see those guys.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer. I did see they're trying to get rid of all the Oklahoma drills in the NFL, and I could not agree more. I mean, you play
at that
football,
point. You don't need to learn. You don't learn how to tackle.
It's a show drill. Yeah. It is 100%. It's a pissing contest.
Well, that's why it's good at the high school and college level.
It excites you, but if you're not hyped to play football in the NFL,
you don't need to do them.
Yeah, no. So I couldn't agree more. I feel like it's an unnecessary, hype drill.
Yeah,
that does have a lot of injuries to it.
There has been they have kind of pointed out though since the last bargaining agreement that they got rid of a lot of more practice, more full contact practice,
and more injuries.
No, they've actually said that injuries have gone up significantly.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it
so
has
it's
gone up.
While they are protecting, I guess, safety in a sense where it's not as physically demanding. There's something about being in that
football shape.
Yeah,
football shape, exactly. Where unfortunately, your body just
those are when you start to see those ACL tears, the
hamstring pulls, turf toes,
the Achilles, those kind of things. That's not from one slip up. That's just from not being in football shape.
Right.
Yeah,
it's tough, and there's freak accidents out there. It happens. Chargers started OTAs. Excited for this year, man.
I think Gates is gonna. I was kind of looking at that this morning.
Do you think
Gates is gonna?
Dude,
you think he's gonna get that call?
I can't say this without cringing, but I really hope not.
Right.
And I've been saying this since probably the last four years now. But having Hunter Henry, obviously it sucked losing him in OTAs last year.
Right.
So I could understand them bringing him back, but your backup tight end needs to block. And Gates does not do that.
Right.
He's never been
in his repertoire. He's just never been able to do it. And that's fine. He was an amazing player in his prime. But we have a really good tight end, somebody that can stretch the field, somebody that can catch the ball, somebody who is athletic. I want Gates to retire, man. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
and like
But
he
I would
doesn't.
hate to see him
that's-
like play 1 year at some.
That's what
other
I'm
team.
saying. Like, it would kill me to see him go play for another team.
Because he said, I'm not done. And I'm like,
Please.
You've been done.
Just be
Please,
done.
Just go down. You got
It's
to
like-
old yeller him.
God, I know. Seriously, man. But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting year for the Chargers, man. I'm pretty pumped.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
This is the last year that they're in their StubHub, right?
Yep.
Before they move into. I got to get a game. I got to hit a game there before.
The field is not impressive.
It's supposed to be an intimate atmosphere. You can hear them.
Dean drove around it in a
You
minute.
can hear the farts on the field.
Just literally. Well, all right. I'll take over. I'm gonna do some NHL. This is a shitty week. I was talking to my dad, and I was like, dude, you can tell the NHL isn't rigged because one of these series would have been extended.
Right.
Boston, they go through their sweep over Carolina in 4. That was kind of shocking for everyone. I thought the Hurricane I thought they had a good chance to go. Then, San Jose, they've been a freaking miracle on the ice every single series. Like I said last week, they've had 6 officials been fired from Stanley Cup playoffs. They've had some controversial calls, some controversial plays, but they've been a team that can come back from not only the controversy, but come back from down and show that they can win it and kind of bar down and go for it. And unfortunately, this series, they had a 2-0 lead against St. Louis. They came back, lost 4. And St. Louis is going to the Stanley Cup. First time since I think it was like 1977 or something like that. So,
Wow.
I mean, I'm kind of rooting for them just because I'm tired of Boston winning everything. I'm tired of seeing Boston just celebrate all the time. So, hoping St. Louis can come back, and they have a good chance. Boston's kind of banged up a little bit. Their defensemen, they've had a few guys that have had to take some games off. So, I mean, I think St. Louis has a good chance of this. It's always interesting that when a team has, so many days off in between playoff series, they kind of go through that
lull.
That football ready, like we were just talking about.
Yeah,
like,
you're
are
in
they
a-
game
you're-
ready?
You're in a lull.
You can only practice so much, so it'll be interesting. The other part that's interesting about this series is this is a rematch from the last time St. Louis was in the playoffs. They played Boston, and Boston's renowned greatest player in hockey, almost Bobby Orr, scored that infamous goal to win the cup for them. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a fun series. Definitely hoping St. Louis can pull it out though. So
Yeah. Fuck the Bruins.
yeah,
I was kind of bummed that the Sharks. I kind of wanted.
I
the
was
Sharks
too.
To go
I
all
wanted the
way
Sharks
just
too.
It
because
just sucks when any series ends in 4 games. It just like
it is.
Like, how did you get here?
yeah.
How did you get here?
Well, and that was a part with the Boston Carolina series that was interesting. It was just like Carolina swept in the first round, and then they kind of seemed like they had good control of the puck. They had a lot of good stick play. They were getting in the zone, and their power play was just shit through this series. I think they went 0 for 15 or something like that in
Damn.
power play. So it's like they just couldn't get anything going.
They got less people on the ice, right?
Yeah, and they just couldn't do it. It was just. But I mean, I gotta give props to Tuukka Rask, the goalie for the Boston Bruins. I mean, that guy was just star-studded every single night.
Lights out, man.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. It'll be a good series. That series starts on Memorial Day on Monday, so finally I have something to watch because this past week it's just been like, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
What am I watching? I have nothing to watch.
Well, that's like, I mean, I know Brandon's not here to cover basketball. I don't know if Enrique, you pay attention to basketball at all. Your brother's pretty big on it.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors swept Portland Trail Blazers in 4 games. It's a tough series to watch. I mean, I felt like Portland fans probably felt like I don't remember with the exact statistic, but Portland led more quarters in that series than the Warriors did.
Well, that's the scary part about Golden State is
And we
that
talked
they
about
can
it-
turn it on.
We talked about it last week when they were down by 15. Like me and Brandon said, like that's 2
not
minutes
enough.
away from being a tie game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that quick that comes at you that fast. Warriors still are. It doesn't look like KD's going to be playing game 1. Cousins look like it's a little iffy as well. They're showing up though, man. Like got to give credit to these dudes, man. Steph Curry's been playing like an animal. He's been playing unselfish. Draymond Green has been a leader. With those three dudes, man, I mean, they're still the most dangerous team in basketball, and it's time to start talking about them as, I mean, unfortunately, like one of the, if not greatest basketball teams to ever play. I mean,
well, isn't this supposed to be like the end? They're saying
because KD's his contract's up, so he can go anywhere.
The same team. These three dudes are the same dudes that set the record for most wins in a regular season. Like they're a good core. On the flip side of that series, you had the Raptors. They took Game 5 today, so they've won 3 straight now. So they're 1 game away from advancing to the championship.
And we thought the Bucks were going to be the ones to potentially overthrow Golden State too. Yeah,
it's honestly, it's been phenomenal coaching by the Raptors. They've turned it around after the last 2. They lost pretty bad.
Yeah.
Came back in this win tonight.
Is that Coach Drake out there?
Drizzy. He has to be. He's got the magic.
I saw him massaging the coach.
That seems to be like a big topic right now. The Bucks were kind of pissed that he was.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like this dude. Like Stephen A. was talking about it this morning on ESPN.
You're telling me that the guy?
Yeah, like I mean, this dude's
he's an ambassador to the sport.
Yeah, that's literally what he said. Literally what he said. But like, I mean, just like, it's not like he went over and touched the Bucks coach. Then like, this dude's been like, courtside every single one of their games this year. Like, he's got a relationship with the players, the coaching staff. Like, if there was anything inappropriate about it, it would have been said a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just an issue now. So, interesting to see. I feel like the Bucks have a good opportunity to come back. You got to win 2 straight, and that's always hard. But it's a battle. It's a good series. And I'm hoping it turns into a good finals.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to getting drunk and watching game on Saturday.
Well, I mean, it's just we're all fans of good sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like when it comes down to it, it's like I don't really have a horse in this race, but I just want to see a good battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just,
well, as much as I love, I'm a San Diego State guy, went to school at the same time as Kawhi. We're definitely doing just as well. I'm doing just as well as he is.
Yeah, you guys are almost the same.
But nonetheless, I'm rooting for him. But at the same time, I'm a big fan of Greek Freak. So
yeah, man, dude.
So
it's the future, man.
He's just a stand-up guy, and he's a killer. So it's just, I can go either way. I do hate Golden State, so
yeah,
I'm rooting for anyone out of the East to.
I said it a little while ago. I had predicted that they weren't going to win. It's not looking good anymore. They're getting hot. They're core players.
They just get hot at the right time.
I mean, like I said, Steph Curry is playing so unselfishly, and he is proven to be, the MVP that he is, and it's going to be hard to stop him, man. Like, we've said it in the past, one of them's off, one of them turns it on. And one of those guys hot means a loss for the other team. So you kind of just got to bank that, like you said, sitting out the rest of this series now that they've won 4 straight, that they can, maybe catch them off guard, because they do it occasionally. They did in this last series. They were on it. But Draymond Green, he's motivated in a different way. It's going to be tough to beat him.
Yeah. Well, all right. That kind of wraps up all the major sports. Ryan, you got our stat of the day this week?
I do.
Go ahead and give it to us.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, dabba-doo-ba-doo, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
It's going to make you guys a little uncomfortable, not going to lie.
All right.
I'm scared.
So,
nervous.
In baseball, there's a lot of, superstitions. There's a lot of, weird things people do.
Yeah, don't mention no-hitter when a no-hitter's going on.
Yeah, the bloody sock incident.
If you're hitting good, don't take your batting glove off.
Rally caps, all that stuff. So
I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little bit stitious.
At the top of that list, there are 3 players in Major League Baseball history: Moises Alou, Jorge Posada, and Kerry Wood,
All right, that's a good list.
Yeah.
have admitted that they pee on their own hands during the baseball season to toughen their grip.
Not a good list.
Like I said, it's going to make you a little uncomfortable.
I don't know if I've ever peed on my hands.
I don't know why you had to think about that. I've never peed on my hands. I don't have to ever think about it.
You never had to like pee on your feet from getting like stung?
Well,
peeing on your feet, or like it's for like athlete's foot and things like that. I've definitely heard of that. But
yeah, but I've never peed on my hands.
Like, and not just like
I got stung by a jellyfish one time, but I was near a bar and they just poured triple sec on me.
That was in Mexico.
Yeah, I got it stung on my head and I had to pee on my face. I'm kidding.
It's like, what the fuck?
I'm kidding.
So how much did she cost?
Ah, you're funny. Oh, that's disgusting.
And like, think about like the palm of your hands.
So they did it.
Dude, I hope I never meet Jorge Posada. I've always wanted to.
Yeah, you don't want to shake his hand.
Yeah, nux.
Well, it's just like when you see someone in the bathroom and they try to like shake your hand. I'm like, I know you didn't do the 30-second wash under the water, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know about that.
No, that dude directly peed on. They directly peed on their hands.
That is,
and two of those dudes play for the Cubs, so it's like, okay, we'll never go inside Wrigley Field's locker room. Like, thanks,
dude. Honestly, this makes me think of every guy that bats without batting gloves.
I do like,
because those guys didn't bat with batting gloves.
I do like people that bat without batting gloves, though. There's something about like
but now
old school. And
now
like,
knowing that they're peeing on their hands,
it's disgusting.
That's gross. I don't.
Yeah, so they did it before, like. They're clearly not doing it before each bat, right? Like,
no, I just said
they just do it throughout.
Yeah,
that's just weird.
Like I thought it was like when I was a pitcher, like they used to say, like my cousin used to tell me, like, dip my finger in pickle juice, and I was like, I thought that was kind of weird, but I never peed on my hands.
I know.
Pickle juice? What?
The vinegar toughens the skin. You have a blister from pitching. There's that constant rub of the ball. When it softens the skin up and you get a blister, if you soak it in pickle juice, the vinegar toughens the skin.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, you stick your finger up your butt.
Yeah, no.
Pee on your hands.
Pee on your hands. It's just like...
I'm like thinking, I was like, is there vinegar? No.
If somebody told me to pee on my hands to toughen up the skin, I'd be like, you're full of shit. Like, good job. You got me.
I think you just wanted to pee on your hands.
Like, it would just be a joke.
There's something about the whole idea of like peeing on your hands. I just don't want to. It's like,
it's gross.
That's one of the things that you're taught in, like, potty training to avoid.
Yeah, to get urine anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a no-no.
And then to wash your hands.
Yeah.
So to directly pee on them doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, do you think they wash their hands after?
I don't want to think about that.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Gosh, this podcast just got dirty real quick.
Well, everyone, we are the Three Amigos and a podcast. Find us at our 3A anywhere you listen to podcasts. Recommend us to everyone you know because we are the #1 podcast in San Diego.
They're the #1 podcast on this block.
On your block. Our 1 year is coming up in 2 weeks. We will be at the Ballast Point, Linda Vista Road. So put out some more information for probably around this time, around like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Figure we'll do that.
Okay. Yeah. You can make a little invite. You're gonna make a flyer. You want me to make a little flyer for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I'll make a little flyer.
That'd be perfect.
Drinks on you guys, so that's
awesome.
Yeah. Open bar. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Open tab.
See if we can get this Philly.
Every person that comes out, you better get these guys a drink because they definitely make my Fridays or weekends.
That's all we try to do, Just give you some entertainment to go into your weekend, that drive home. But Enrique with the All Bad Podcast, thank you for coming on.
Thanks,
Enrique.
Enrique.
For having me.
And you can always find them at the same place you find us on every podcast platform. So we're 3A, they're All Bad Podcast. Give us a listen, all that kind of stuff. And we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Peace.